today's October the 3rd. I'm looking across at Canada over there. This is the Niagara River. We're about 3 miles, Niagara Falls is about 3 miles south of here. This place called Devil's Hole. Look at these fishing boats. These fishing boats are everywhere, and they come in here and they turn into the current and don't anchor. They just put their engine on and still fish. But this river runs down and runs into Lake Ontario about 10 miles down there. That's where we're staying at 4 Mile Campground. And by the way, that's a helicopter. You can bet you won't find me on one of those today, or maybe ever, doing one of these tours. But this is, over the years, Niagara, the falls themselves have headed south, and at one time I guess they were right here and headed up. It's just beautiful. Headed south. Erosion and so forth has moved them. But anyway, there's the New York hydroelectric plant. All right, here's an interesting little factoid. I'm going to give you a geology lesson in just a minute, but I want you to read this, which I didn't know. Here's a little geological factoid. All of the lakes, Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, flow by Detroit into Lake Erie, through Lake Erie, over down the Niagara River, over Niagara Falls, to Lake Ontario, out to the St. Lawrence Seaway, and into the Atlantic Ocean. I had no idea. It takes 6 years for the water in Lake Superior to find its way out to the Atlantic Ocean. How about that? The Illinois River down there is man-made, so it doesn't count. They got locks down there. But all the water from the Great Lakes flows through the St. Lawrence Seaway, over Niagara Falls, to the Atlantic Ocean. Wind noise working. This is working, so ignore it if you can. Here's the river running down. The falls are right up there. This is a place on the river called the Whirlpool, and it is very cool. Water just goes in there and forms a giant whirlpool. You can see it coming along that outside edge over there. My first question is, where does it go out? I'm getting ready to show you the whirlpool. A bit of the serious action, the whirlpool action right in the middle of a big whirlpool will form, and then it'll go away and form again. You see it very well, but there's a whirlpool out in there. It's a buzzard. And here's where it comes out. It narrows down right there, and it's hauling when it gets through there. As close as I can get, this is Prospect Point. We're on the American side. In a few minutes we're going to be on one of those little boats down there getting a fisheye view, and that's the Canadians over there. This is the best vantage point I've so far of looking at the falls. Sorry for the wind noise. We're getting ready to pose. Too touristy. Alright, it's going. Wind noise. This is looking away from the falls. I'm gonna they're about 100 yards behind me. I'm gonna shoot a video over there and not say anything because of the wind noise. Walking around down there. The Maid of the Mist. They gave us these. We look like a bunch of gnomes, but there's the falls right up there. We're gonna go check that out. Probably go below. You get so come down below. It was just so cloud. I couldn't shoot it up there, but I don't think you'd want to go across over that in a barrel. Too many rocks. There's the observation deck we were on a while ago. American Falls. We're getting ready to go over and take a look at the Canadian side. Pretty awesome, but it's not as tall as I thought it might be. This is the big boy. This is Niagara Falls. It sure is a lot rougher up here by these falls than it was by those others. You can't really get a very good shot of it. It's getting wet. It's a bad boy. can't really see anything. There's the big falls right there. Wow. Clarification, both of these falls are Niagara Falls, but that's on the Canadian side. And that outcrop right there on near the water across is the Canadian border. But those are the Horseshoe Falls right there. Both of them Niagara Falls. That's the Canadian side. That won't be back here in my lifetime. I'm just taking another little shot. Magnificent falls. Horseshoe Falls down there. That little outcropping is the Canadian border. It's straight across the river. Today is Saturday, October the 4th. We're still in the 4-mile campground. This is Lake Ontario. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm focused right on it on the horizon over there. It's 34 miles. That's Toronto. Very unusual that you get a clear enough time to see that far. It reminds me of when we were in Michigan City, and on special days you could look across and see Chicago. So that's Toronto right over there, approximately 34 miles straight across Lake Ontario. When we were on our boat, we came in down there. What town did we come in? Kingston. In Kingston, and ran along the north shore of this lake and went up to a little place called Picton. But anyway, that's so much for that. But there's Toronto. I don't know if you can see it. It's hard to see it right there. One more shot of Toronto. It's a little different scene, but still can't zoom in on this thing. But that's pretty neat. About 34 miles. We're leaving 4 Mile State Park on the shores of Lake Ontario, and we're going back toward Niagara, and got a Walmart we can stay up there, and going to go out on Goat Island right up at the falls. So I'll show you some of that when I get there. On our way out of 4 Mile Creek, 4 Mile State Park, we stopped by Fort Niagara just to take a look. Big beautiful park here sitting right on Lake Ontario. You can see it right through there. Not too much to do here, especially since it cost $25 to get in, but that had nothing to do with our decision. There's a Fort Niagara lighthouse, old building. And there we are, all hooked up, ready to ride. This is October the what? 4th, Saturday. Had to come back and walk up here between the falls. There's the New York side, the American side, New York side. It's an ugly day today. Yesterday was pretty, but it's cold and windy and a little bit harsh today. This is the Canadian side of the, this is the Horseshoe Falls here. We're at Terrapin Point on Goat Island. Now, we did talk to a local a while ago, but I really don't have a good view of this, but that's where it's going over right there. And the local told, as we found out this year, all the Great Lakes froze solid. And the amazing thing is, so did Niagara Falls. These falls froze solid. That's amazing. Almost scary. And climate change is a bad, bad boy. About as close as I care to get right here. You're looking right over this rail. Yeah, if I drop this iPad, I don't believe I could retrieve it. There's the Embassy Suites right over there. You can see them. Here's the gnome. Daddy! I'll make y'all sick of these Niagara Falls, but that's pretty close right there. And here's one of the, that's the Canadian boat right down there. We were there yesterday. This is rough, tough right here. Alright, had enough Niagara Falls. There it is. This final dose of Niagara Falls. We're on Three Sisters Island, which is just upstream from the falls. If you're in there, you're done. Too late. But this is a little island, and there's a bridge across that island right over there, and then another bridge. But this is kind of just a deep little set of islands that's stuck out, not close to the middle. It's a big river across there. But this is it. I'm wrapping up the video. Hope you like Niagara Falls. When to quit. This is between the second and the third island. It gets a little calmer in here. And then there's Niagara heading downstream. I'm wrapping up the video. That on the horizon over there, Jenny said she thought that might be buffalo. The passage between island number 1 and island number 2. It's almost civilized. Oh, look, a little brook. This is between the mainland and island number 1. And this is it for the video. See ya.